Hey, what's up, guys? DannyVNCR here. Still playing Disturbed and still fucking sick, wouldn't you know? Um, I'm going to be straight running this one. We're just going to be chaptering it. So, back to Disturbed Part 2. Picking up right where the last video left off. So, if you haven't watched the last one, go watch it. What the fuck is wrong with you? But here we go. Jump in right back in. So, if you'll recall from the last video, we went down both paths all the way. So, we're going to go from where the paths split. And we went left last time, so we're going to go right and see what we can find. You reach the end of the pathway. In the distance is a tower looking over the area. A gate secures passage to the area with a wall around the property. Also of interest, there's a tree that has a hole carved into it. Wow, very few options this way. We're going to look at the tree. You approach the tree and notice the hole is big enough to fit your hand in it. You look and see something shiny in the hole, as if it were metal. Feeling around with your hand, you find 3 knobs, one on the right, one centered in the middle, and one on the left. I know this gambit. Press the knobs. So let's start with the left, right, middle. The knobs lock in place. You wait for a moment, but nothing happens. It must be some sort of combination. Oh, okay. Okay, and we got it. Just out of sheer dumb luck of trying every fucking thing I could, we figured that out. You hear the rumbling. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to risk not getting that again. Yeah. Hear the rumbling of rocks as the ground starts to shift underneath you. Everything goes dark and you sink below the surface. The hole above you seals up, trapping you underground. Okay. You find yourself with no evident way out, but the path before you into darkness. Your only choice is to move forward. You see 3 separate paths within the walls of the cavern. Which path do you choose? You cautiously make your way through the darkness. Oh, God. Really? You come to a split in paths. Which way do you go? We're going to keep going left. You move forward to the darkness. When you know. Oh, okay. So we're going to try left and then right. You struggle forward as the way before you becomes completely dark. You notice that there is a light off in the distance and you continue to make your way forward. Eventually, you make it into some sort of concrete room. Turning around, you see a hole in the wall where you came from. Your guess is that it wasn't part of the initial design. What would make you think that? You turn around to see a door. There being little to nothing in the room, you decide to move through the doorway. You find yourself in what looks like a basement. You turn about to discover that in each direction there is a door. Boxes of supplies and debris litter the floor and corners of the room. Damn it. You notice that there are several markings on the doors and floor, some of which scare you. You got a bad feeling about this place. Yeah, let's do that first. You walk about the room browsing through the dust and covered storage. You find some rope in one of the boxes. It feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. Well, I'm already glad I did that. Okay. So, we're good on that. So now let's try a door. Again, we're going to go with the left. Is that the door that looks like the door that I came from? Yeah, okay. So let's go with the middle one then. Okay, this one's different. You enter a room full of metal cages. Before you is a hallway marked with questionable markings. You don't like the feeling you have about this place. Whatever was in these cages surely did not like to be locked up. You notice that there is an animal in the cage on the left of the room, but from the dark stains on its fur, it is dead. Okay. You cautiously walk down the hallway, entering a room with 2 cell doors. Oh, hey there, Ben. Before you can do anything, a large hound leaps in front of you. The beast doesn't look very vicious, but one wrong move could surely be the end of you. Realizing that you are not prepared for a moment like this, you slowly back away towards the other room. To your dismay, the dog follows your every movement. Before you can do anything, the dog leaps forward at you. You don't survive long and die a painful death. Your adventure ends here. Who's a good boy? Not him. This is a son of a bitch. Literally. Well, technically, I mean, if he's a boy, then yeah, I guess that would make him a son of a bitch. Okay. So we are going to try. Did we try the? Was it? Yeah, the right door. Okay. You enter a small room. There's a large cauldron in the center of the room with wood resting beneath. There is nothing on the shelves, as if someone cleaned this place out. You look into the pot, but find nothing in it. With nothing else to see, you exit the room. Okay, enter the door behind me. You walk up the steps. You enter a large room. The air is polluted with dust, and spider web cover the walls and ceilings. And spider webs cover the wall and ceilings. Okay. Ceiling. Where should you go now? Upstairs, downstairs, the far door, go outside. Let's go outside. Standing before the tower, your heart begins to sink. This is no doubt the birthplace of the spreading plague. No doubt. There is a fountain before you with statues on your right and left. Oh, I'm within the gated area now. That's nifty. Let's inspect the statue on the right. Before you stands an old angel statue that has broke in many areas. With one hand, the angel is holding some sort of bowl, while the other hand is hovering over the bowl. You notice that there's only 2 remaining fingers on the angel's other hand. You feel you should keep your distance and just observe the statue. Right, because in most situations, statues are totally violent and should be avoided at all costs. The more you know. This is the one we already, yeah. You see an old statue of an angel that has been consumed by vines of thorn. Okay. The angel is holding a book in one hand, the other with one finger pointed up to the sky. You feel it is best to leave the statue alone. Okay, so now let's look at the fountain, shall we? There's a dark haze about the fountain. The water is black and smell burns with every breath. You feel a slight pull towards the fountain as if it were calling for something. Okay, so we're going to go back in the tower, I think. As you reach for the doorknob, an invisible barrier stops you. Must be some sort of magic. So now we have to, what, leave the area? Okay, so let's see if we can't get back in the tree. So I will say, if you don't know me that well, which chances are you probably don't, I have a weird memory for like a lot of numeric things like that. So it isn't uncommon for me to get those weird puzzles like that and actually remember them even for like really, really long times, which is part of how I do that. Okay, so I think we've done everything this way, so we're going to try the middle one. Yeah, go forward. Cautiously step forward into the darkness. We have a split path. Wouldn't you know? We're going to go left. Oh, okay. An eye appears before you as its gaze pierces the darkness. Before you can do anything, tentacles burst from the ground and grip your body. It pulls you about, but you resist as much as you can. Not sure what you can do, you continue to resist until you can think of something. Your body begins to grow weak as your strength burns away. You suddenly feel yourself pulled to the ground and you are dragged about like a rag doll. It is not long before the creature devours your body, leaving nothing behind. Your adventure ends here. You got roped by a roper was the name of that achievement. So I actually went back to the tower path. We're going to see if we can't find something a little different this way first. Where should you go now? So we're not going to go outside. We're going to go downstairs, I think, is where we came from. Yeah. So we're not going to go that way. We're going to go upstairs. Discover what looks like a private library. There's a passageway before you with bookcases on the left and right. Yeah, let's browse the books. Take a moment to look at the books. Some of them catch your eyes. A Forgotten Power. Flipping through the pages, there's one in particular that has ink markings all over it. Raw energy is a powerful substance not to be trifled with. It's merely myth that such energies exist. One does not simply stumble upon a pillar of godly power. Even if such a fate is yours, bare hands cannot contain the force. It must be bent and channeled into a specially crafted vessel to carry it. There have been accounts across time of individuals possessing such power, although they pass away as sand. Their relics of power remain as powerful artifacts that nations around the world would fight for. Okay. I didn't catch the name. Deception of Magic, I think. There's a bet page marking a section of the book. You turn to it. Oh no, it said music. The art of charming is not necessarily limited to the instrument, but how the musician goes about playing given instrument. Some are definitely easier to use than others, and for a skill such as this, there are a few instruments recommended. The harp is one of these recommended instruments. From vicious dogs to shy unicorns, the soothing voice of the harp can calm the troubled heart. Of course, not all creatures can fall for the simple trick, but it can mean the difference between life and death in some situations. So, one thing real quick I will say, I do like the hinting and everything, but the harp is not, I mean, it's really notoriously one of the most difficult instruments to play, if I'm not mistaken. So, just something to note. That's a really, really small point. I wouldn't even call it a criticism, really, but just a note. You flip around until something grabs your attention. Pillars of stone. I thought they were talking about like a person. My heart actually stopped for a second. Years before current times, there were unique religious practices that revolved the Stonehenge. So this is, in reference to the Stonehenge. It said that these stones are lined up in a special way and often organized in a circular pattern. Organizing the stones this way unlocks an ancient power researchers still have trouble understanding. In the middle of the circle would be a stone or two for the keystone to rest on. This is the great mystery of this ancient practice from the ancient records. It is written that the energies from the surrounding stones channel their power into the keystone. You stop reading because the next page of the book has been torn out. So I'm getting that all three of these books have a lot to do with how to solve puzzles in the rest of the game. Okay. So we are going to move forward. You walk up more stairs. You pause as you notice a stone carving of a person praying that is attached to the wall. There's something odd about it, but you can't put your finger on it. With caution, you continue up the stairs. You enter a strange room with a large globe centered about the room. I'm going to go ahead and save here real quick like. There are windows that let the light shine through. You notice that there's a chest resting against the wall to the right. You also notice that there's another passageway like the previous room. We are going to check the chest. Approaching the chest, you notice there's a lock fastened to it. No key to unlock the chest. You decide to leave it alone. Okay, globe. You study the globe attached to the floor's surface. The craft is made of metal. There's fine detail in the grooves. There are various markings and names scattered across the globe. It takes you a moment, but you find a marking of where you are, Aramore. You notice that there are some hand-drawn markings within the area made with black ink. There must be something close by that has interested the author of these markings. To add to the mystery, there are similar markings on other areas around the globe. Okay. Sorry, I have a juvenile bearded dragon. He was trying to scratch his way into his hide, and the sound kind of scared the shit out of me. And now he's just staring at me. You climb the stairs to find a wall ending your path. Above the end of the stairway is a hatch. Yeah. Ooh, that was a really unsettling sound. You open the hatch and pull yourself up. You've made it to the top of the tower. Before you is a stone of power resting upon an altar of rock. Dark vines have entangled the structure as if they were feeding off the energies of the stone. Your body begins to tremble as you stand before the stone. You definitely feel weaker being up here, as if the stone is sapping away your energy. This may be your only chance. You approach the stone and grasp onto it. You lose sight and feeling immediately as your hands become glued to the stone. And I figured that was going to happen. Your life is drained from your body. Wouldn't you know? Only bones remain to testify of your death. So, I haven't been commenting a whole lot on this game so far, as I'm sure you're obviously aware. I do like it. I like it as a whole. I like it as an idea. I think it's kind of silly in some ways, but it's definitely in the ways that I would say it's silly or maybe lackluster, I would say are forgivable. But it's actually very enthralling. I'm finding myself very attached and almost addicted, really, if I can say that. It's fun. But I'm going to go ahead and call this little somber death note. That's going to be it for part 2, and I will return here shortly with part 3. Thanks again for watching, guys. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends if you like. But thanks for watching.